Revenge films.
The story begins when my parents told me about my sister Helen's divorce. They said she's back at their house now. I was surprised because Helen and her ex-husband Dick were good together. I couldn't help but wonder what had happened to them, but I didn't pry until she wanted to talk to me. One day I got a call from Dick. We'd gone out together a few times when things were good, so I knew his number. But what does he want from me now? He told me that they divorced because Helen cheated on him and the compensation hasn't been paid yet. He said she wouldn't answer his phone calls, so he called me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and asked him back if that's true. He said he was positive and just wanted her to send the money to him for $35,000. If he's telling the truth, she could be held responsible. But I called my parents first to find out more. Then I couldn't believe what they said. They said Helen never cheated and that she's been seeing a psychiatrist because of all the stress from her married life. I was confused by these two conflicting stories. It was time for me to talk to Helen directly, but her story was even more shocking. She said that it was only the beginning, that her marriage was going well. Soon, Dick's mother Esther started to meddle in their lives. It started with Helen's income. She was working full-time and her salary was deposited regularly. But one day Esther told her to hand over her passbook and bank card, and Esther started managing Helen's bank account. Helen told Esther that she wanted to withdraw some money from her account on payday and asked for permission to use her bank card. But Esther had already withdrawn the money first thing in the morning, and she gave Helen just $50. She asked Esther what it was for, and Esther said it was Helen's allowance and that she should thank Esther for giving her an allowance. Helen didn't understand the situation and asked Esther what she was going to do with the rest of Helen's salary. Esther told her casually that she would manage Helen's salary from now on. She didn't understand or agree with the way Esther handled her money and talked to Dick about it, but Dick only said that it was a good idea and safer if Esther handled it. Why did she stay in her marriage? Because she wanted a child. Helen was saving a small amount of money each month so she could quit her job when a child was born. She stayed only because of a future child of her own in that savings, but things got worse. By then, Helen would come to their apartment frequently and change the interior and just about everything around the house as she pleased. When she told Dick about it, he just said that everything Esther does is fine by him and brushed her off. As Esther got the taste of controlling the young couple, she went too far. She started to interfere with their intimacy. She would ask about Helen's menstrual cycle and suddenly tell her, "Do it tonight." She even rummaged through the bathroom trash, and if there was the sign of their nightlife, yelled at her, "It's not the right day to do it." Helen was shocked by this excessive interference of Esther and told Dick to stop her gross behavior. Then Dick suddenly lost his temper and hit her.
Don't ever call what Mom does gross!
After that, anytime she said something about Esther, Dick would hit her. She could no longer eat from anxiety and fear of her husband. One day she just collapsed during the business meeting. Her colleague was a caring person and took her back to the office and drove her home that day just to make sure she was okay. But Dick saw the two came home together and lost his temper and hit her again, accusing her of cheating. I was speechless to hear all of this from Helen. It was totally different from what Dick told me, and was way worse. Helen feared that he might kill her one day and finally decided to run away from him. She ran to an ATM to withdraw the money she had been saving for the baby, only to find out there was zero balance in the account. She confronted Esther about it, but her response was, "You have no idea how much trouble I have to deal with for you. I have to teach you everything. I deserve a little reward." Helen was crushed and came back to our parents' house in despair, with no money. When I saw her in person, I was enraged to see bruises all over her body. She said she couldn't bring up the word of compensation. She was too terrified of what they might do to her, so she just signed the papers and agreed to the divorce. Helen was traumatized by her marriage and couldn't think straight anymore, but I couldn't just be quiet about it. I decided to give them the proper punishment they deserved and took Helen to a hospital to get a medical certificate. Later, I called up Dick to arrange the meeting. Thinking I was bringing the money he wanted, he agreed to meet me happily. When we met at a cafe, he asked for the money bluntly. I showed him the medical certificate instead. It's you who should pay the damages. Your mother stole Helen's money and you abused her physically. I told everything to our lawyer. There's enough evidence, and even her colleague at work agreed to testify. You have no way out.
Give me a break. She's the one who cheated.
The man you are talking about was only helping Helen. She fainted at the client's office that day because you pushed her to the edge. I won't let you get away with this. You and your mother can expect the worst. Dick changed his attitude to hear my strong words.
Hey, wait a minute. We don't have to divorce then. Then it's our problem and none of your business. You can tell her she can come home. I'll talk to my mom and it'll be okay.
Are you crazy? Do you think she would come back to you to be beaten up more? She has been traumatized by your abuse and is seeing a psychiatrist now. There is no way we would let her come back to your house of monsters. Don't forget, I will make sure you fall.
Look, I'm offering a compromise. How dare you talk to me in that tone? Don't you mess with me!
I saw the way he lost his temper. I had nothing more to say to him and just left. Our father found a good lawyer for her, and she sued them and claimed a total of $55,000 from Dick and Esther. Esther was furious to see the amount and complained to us. How come I have to pay this much to her? Well, she stole Helen's income to start, and invading the couple's privacy deserved compensation. I doubted Dick would pay just as told, so we also sent the documents to his workplace. Dick told everybody at work that Helen's cheating led to their divorce, but now they know the truth, that he was a wife-beater and despised him completely. Owing that much money, he couldn't quit his job and kept working on a bed of nails, which sounds perfect. Esther couldn't afford it either and had to choose either losing the car or the house or working. Luckily, she got a job but couldn't learn the tasks, and she's been yelled at by younger coworkers every day. Knowing they got suitable punishments for a long time to come, we all felt better. Helen received the entire amount she claimed to restore her life, but even with that good news, Helen was still not well and couldn't go back to work for a while. But her colleague who helped her before seems to be caring for her, and Helen is getting her smile back slowly. I'm hoping that I'll hear a happy news around her, maybe in a few years.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.